So, you come from Brentwood.
Yeah.
You got a Boerboel. Why a Boerboel?
Why a Boerboel? That's a good question.
I always ask people. It's not. I ask everyone the same question.
Yeah, it's fine. So I had a bull. My first big dog was a bull mastiff.
Nice.
I lost him quite young. He was about 7 or 8. I was working with a South African guy at the time, and he said, "Have you ever heard of this breed? You know, similar in size, some similar traits, characteristics." And I hadn't looked into it, and I thought, oh, okay, something a bit different. You know, a loyal big dog, guarding breed. So I looked into it, and I found a breeder over in Kings Langley, and they were brilliant. Got him, and I had him. Lost him last year. He was almost 12. So he had a really good innings.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Fed raw his whole life. I think that was probably quite a determining factor. And just, loved him. Now, I've got this fella, and he is an absolute gentleman, but he lived in kennels with the breeder for the first year of his life. So he's got some very good traits with other dogs and with people he knows. But with people he doesn't know and in strange situations, he can be quite nervous, anxious, and a bit reactive as well.
Yep.
So what I was looking, the help I wanted from you, I suppose we've moved on from just why I've got a Boerboel, but is helping me to help him feel more comfortable in situations where he is reacting. So I'm not saying just reacting to people, but just to noises, to things. You know, for example, the first week I got him home, the toaster popped, and he thought that the world was on fire type of thing, you know, and it's just things that you take for granted, but he's not come across in his life. I take him to the tennis club with me quite a lot. He has his own little area, and he's got a lot better at not reacting to everyone, but he still reacts to people when they walk past, and it's just stuff like that I wanted your help with.
Okay, that's not a problem. The thing with the tennis club, we can help that. So obviously we have a training centre, but we also do home visits, so if there's problems in your home, and we also do work visits as well. So if you take your dog to your place of business, we can also go there and see what's going on. So if you needed more help there at the tennis,
that sounds good.
We can come down. So my job basically takes me wherever the issue goes. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yes, I'm sure.
But that's not a problem. So Boerboels, we don't see many Boerboels. I really love them. I think they're fantastic. Do you notice much difference between him and your bull mastiff?
Yes, he's a lot more intelligent, I would say, and he's a lot more interested in everything, whereas the bull mastiff was a lot more laid back.
I find, because all mastiffs share very similar traits. They're all extremely powerful. They're all massive. They all have very strong protective instincts. And that's the trait of any mastiff, whether it's a bull mastiff, English mastiff, Dog de Bordeaux, Boerboel, things like that. But I do find that there are levels to the mastiff game. And I think something like a bull mastiff is kind of what you call more of an entry-level mastiff, very laid back. Has all the traits you're looking for in a mastiff, but super chilled and super laid back. Same as the English mastiff, the heaviest of the mastiffs, but probably the most docile of the mastiffs. Then you've got the more serious mastiffs, your Presa Canarios, things like that. They're serious. Cane Corso's middle of the road, Dog de Bordeaux's middle of the road, Presa Canarios right up there, Dogo Argentinos, Argentinian mastiff right up there. These are kind of up that I find them a lot more switched on, a lot quicker to react to a presence. It's almost like react first, ask questions later. Whereas a bull mastiff seems to only react if necessary.
Leaves it to the last minute almost, or
I find on average bull mastiffs to be a lot better with other dogs. They may not necessarily start a fight, but they're not the best at backing down, whereas a Presa Canario, Boerboel might decide that it wants to make you go away just because you're there. So that's good. Any health concerns, anything like that?
No.
Age?
22 months, so just under 2 years.
Nice. Awkward age then. No worries. Let's get him out. Let's see what's going on. I read in the description that he doesn't like people wearing black. So
he's got better with that.
Okay.
Because I've tried to wear black at home, So I've tried to move away from always wearing jeans and navy blue to wearing black, which is,
It always helps.
Yeah. Loads of stuff like that. I've just tried to expose him to stuff, but he'll sometimes just get freaked out just for no obvious reason. And that's the type of stuff where I feel like I need a bit of training, because it takes me... It's a bit different, because I've always had dogs from puppies before, so... which creates its own problems, or I create problems within the dog potentially, but this is where he's got this natural fear of something because he doesn't know what it is or doesn't understand it. Anyway, let me get him out.
Right. I like mastiffs. I've got a huge soft spot for mastiffs. So it'll be interesting, because obviously Ben the cameraman, has he ever seen a camera?
Probably not. No, phones, but round this way, Milo.
Yeah,
I like to react to my camera normally.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want me to do, or can he just?
Yeah, just let him. Yeah, just potter around at this moment in time. So you can see already that he kind of just holds himself very. He doesn't walk proud, if you will.
Yeah.
So he walks very head low.
Yeah.
Like, he makes himself smaller than what he actually is, and he's very tentative about everything. I mean, he looks like he just needs a hug, but
he does like a hug.
So you see, like, even there, so just the presence of Ben there.
Yeah.
You see how he completely gave it a wide berth.
Yeah.
It's almost like he side-eyed Ben as he was coming here and went, yep, no, I'm going to go over here.
But he tends to react most when he feels like he can't get away from something. So that was one thing I wanted to ask you about, is when I'm walking him and he sees something he doesn't like, for example, a shop window where he sees his reflection and he tries to bolt, I don't know whether I should be controlling him and saying, look, I'm here, I'll stand between you and that.
Yep. And
he's cowering, or well, not cowering, that's probably a bit extreme, but he's really worried about it, or we should just move past it and just forget about it.
Okay, let's bring him up here, because we can create shop reflections, because we have mirror film on the windows, almost like privacy glass, so we can see you but you can't see us type thing, but often very good at setting off the dogs. So if you...
Milo, close. Come on.
So, for example, if you... and all
you see he's edging towards me. He's not sure. Come on then, round this side.
They're just solid, like, look at him.
Powerhouse, isn't it?
Yeah. And how does he walk on his lead and things like that?
He's good. So I've tried to keep him behind my leg to try and give him more confidence.
Yep.
With me leading, but he's a big sniffer, and he'll go from, come on, right, I'm waiting for him. I like to let him sniff because, you know, he really enjoys doing it, and it's a big part of, I think, his enjoyment of his walk. But then once he's finished sniffing, he'll then go ahead of me. So I try and control him back so that I feel like I can try and give him confidence, but then it doesn't seem to work. So
So half the problem is we see a lot of dogs, and sniffing is key to helping a dog, because something that a lot of people seem to forget. I got called to a dog trainer once.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we have had to help other dog trainers.
Okay.
And this was a really good dog trainer.
Yeah.
But she couldn't help her own dog. She was very good at helping other people.
Okay.
But when you have that emotional attachment, you can struggle. So if you just keep him just keep that boundary so you can stay here. Otherwise,
come here.
So he can mooch around. He doesn't need to necessarily be here, but we're just going to block how far he can go. Right. But the problem she was doing is she went to her mentor, the person that trained her, to get help with her dog. Okay. And he was going, right, the dog needs to heel. Like, you must be the pack leader. Mm-hmm. Problem was that wasn't helping the dog at all, because it wasn't allowing the dog to sniff. And when a dog's sniffing, that's kind of them taking in information. So I was like, we need to create that happy balance. So the dog needs to be able to sniff, but the problem is, if, for example, you're sniffing, the dog's sniffing, and it stops every 30 seconds, and you're stopping with the dog every 30 seconds, and that's the dog kind of making those decisions. And if the dog makes all those little decisions, what often happens is when something out of the ordinary happens, which for your dog can be a bang, its own reflection, something like that, they freak out, because in their mind, I've made you stop whenever I want. I've been able to do whatever I want to a degree. So in order to build security, we almost need to micromanage the dog. So it's not about not letting the dog sniff, because that's absolutely key to helping the dog, because when the dog's sniffing, it's downloading information. But so if we don't allow the dog to sniff and things like that, then all we do is have the dog just staring constantly on edge. Its eyes kind of take over. So if you're not letting your nervous dog sniff, it's never going to build confidence. But we need to sort of teach the dog that when I need you to walk by my side because life's a bit stressful, this is where I need you to be. But then I also respect that sniffing's going to help you, and it's a natural behaviour. So we then let the dog sniff. So the dog absolutely needs to sniff, but we need to be the one that goes, all right, mate, we're in a new area. It's safe for you to do so. Go on then. And there needs to be that clear distinction. Because right now he comes in, investigates, went over to Ben, investigates, and Ben knows what to do. This isn't Ben's first rodeo. I know what to do. But 90% of people, when a dog approaches them, for some reason thinks it's an invitation to touch them. Now he's stroking. Sorry, he's not stroking. He's sniffing. That's his way of investigating and getting information. But if Ben touches him now, where he's deep in that sniff, you'll see him jump. And then that can trigger him to react. People think just because a dog's here, it's an invitation. But you see how he walks away? That means he's not into Ben. He wanted to investigate and then walked away. If you touch him in that moment, you could trigger a reaction. But the problem is, he's able to do that on his own merit. So he goes, there's a person, let me investigate. But because we've just allowed it, if that goes wrong, his fear remains. So it's us going, right, I can't let you go straight over to a person, because I need for you to, first of all, seek permission from me and guidance from me, and I need to be able to instruct that person what to do. It's the same as when he goes, something appears, his natural response is to go towards it, then he goes, oh shit, and runs away. So we go, hang on a second, let me investigate this first, make sure it's safe for you to do so, and then if it is, then I can let you do it. So it's about you making those little itty bitty choices for him. So let's see what his lead walking's like. So a simple test, and I do this with every single client, and you'll be pleased to know that the success rate is terrible. So 99.9% of people fail this simple test. So the simple test is this. I want you to show me your best hill with him by your side, short but relaxed lead. Walk round that table and back to where I am. Nice and simple.
Right, so start over here.
Just gives me an indicator as when you ask him to walk by your side, how good he is.
Hello, watch me. Hey, watch me.
And I often get the excuses, he's much better than this, when he knows where he is and things like that.
Milo, hey.
They weren't terrible, to be fair. It could be better.
That was, so that was pretty standard. So he stayed roughly where I wanted him to go, but moving around in quite a nervous way.
But again, it's little things. So you'll see, what's he like with horses? You get horses coming up and down here.
He's seen horses before. He's pretty good with other animals, to be honest.
To be fair, they normally are, particularly with what you'd call the prey animals, like livestock animals and things like that. Because naturally, What are they designed for?
Eating them.
So it's like little things. When we got here,
yeah,
he kind of went off there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did come back. When we got round here, he kind of dragged behind you a little bit because he was distracted.
Yeah.
So what we need to start to teach him to do is follow us at our pace. So if he starts to get nervous, we can pick up the pace.
Okay.
And keep him with us. Can I just take his lead?
Yeah, of course you can.
Beautiful. Come here, mate. What's his name?
Milo.
Milo. Hello, Milo. You're going to freak out, Milo. We're going to go for a little walk. Come here, Milo. So little things like this, you see that head dipping down? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to do is kind of, this way. I want to try and keep him moving a little bit faster.
Okay.
And kind of more, oh God, you're a fucking idiot, mate. And kind of, like when he swings his arse round. But yeah, it's like little things like this. You see now what's happened is he's gone, I need to investigate this.
Yeah.
But if that thing was something scary, because he's just went, yeah, let me do it.
Yeah.
And if he then freaks out, it becomes a bad experience.
Yeah.
The problem is when he wants to do that, he fucking hunkers down. Strong as an ox.
He is strong.
So take him a second because mastiffs aren't generally terrible pullers. What makes a mastiff difficult isn't necessarily the pulling aspect because they're generally life in slow motion. Yeah. Like they're happiest when they're just sort of mooching. Yeah. They're not necessarily that dog that wants to chase a tennis ball or play with. They like to mooch. A mastiff, I say, is happiest when it's just mooching around life in slow motion, like he's doing now. It's not necessarily them pulling that's the problem, it's the stop that's the problem, or that sort of, I want to investigate that. And it's those explosive little bits, or that suddenly slamming on the brakes when you're walking and the brakes come on, it's like, God. So what have you used with him in terms of collars? Has it just been that martingale, or?
I did put a halty on him, but he didn't like it at all.
I bet.
And because of his nervousness, I didn't really want to put something else in his life that was giving him anxiety. Right or wrong, I don't know. But
no, so
it's only really been this, to be honest.
Okay, cool. So you never tried a slip lead?
No, I haven't.
Okay, let's try one of those because the slip lead is basically the next step up to that.
Okay.
So martingales are what we call half choke collars in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. So it's quite a good training tool.
Okay.
But if you look where it sits almost where his normal collar is.
Yeah.
And down there he's got a hell of a lot of strength.
Yeah.
We want something that's going to sit up high and almost stay up high like that.
Yeah.
The martingale will never stay up high like that because it physically has to go over his head.
Yeah.
So you always have to loosen it off. A slip lead would kind of be a step up to that. So I'll get one of those. Hopefully, because I'm going to use what's called a slip collar. Hopefully, I can get one that goes over his fucking head. I have normal slip leads that will go over him.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm hoping that I can get... goose fat out.
Lube him up.
Yeah, just put a lube behind his ears so we can get it over.
Okay, shall I take his other collars off?
Not yet. Put this one on first.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, what side you walk him on your left, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so it needs to go on like that.
Yep. Okay.
If we can get over his head. If not...
Come here. Hey.
Right. You get the goose fat out. There'll go. There we go. Right, that's
just
better.
about. Tuck your jowls in.
So now what I want you to do, with that bit that you was just holding...
This bit?
Yeah. Pull up on it and pull it almost over his head, like towards me.
Yeah.
That's it. And then there's a little clasp here that comes down.
How far?
But pull it towards me, because by doing that and now pulling that clasp down a little bit more, it will stay in position. If you pull it back as you pull the clasp down, you pull the lead collar down. Now attach the lead that's attached to his...
Tight.
That's fine.
Is that right?
Yeah. If it was too tight, it'd let you know straight away, because you wouldn't be able to breathe.
Okay.
So that's... The dog will tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah. Okay.
Then that lead...
Should I take the other?
No, you can keep that on, that's fine. So he should still wear a normal collar, because his normal collar should have his tags on and everything like that. Yeah, this is just a training device. Similar as to, he's got the martingale on, but also got his normal collar on.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you want to put that back on then?
No, it's fine, he's not going anywhere.
Just when we're out?
Just when you're out.
Yeah,
so what you'll do is, if this is where we go with him, you'll replace the red one with the slip.
Slip, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've just opened the boot by accident.
I was going to say, is there a ghost here?
I was like, what's he looking at?
The boot just opened. I'm like, what's going on?
That's magic.
Right.
So, is it home time?
Let's go, mate. So, I like this lead. So what I want to do is start to teach him the concept of pressure, yeah? So he walks relatively nicely, but when he hunkers down, like when he got that smell over there, and then he refuses to move, that's the problem. So I want to teach him that when you feel the end of this lead, when you hit the end of it, to follow it like that, then it turns off. What I'm looking for is just a little bit more ease of being able to control him in those moments where he reacts and or panics and tries to fly. So if we go here, change direction, a little bit of pressure, that turns straight off.
Okay.
Little bit of pressure, he gives into it, it turns straight off. Keep him moving. See, little things like that. When he's looking behind him at Ben the cameraman, I keep his head moving forward. Everything's about recognising the signs that he's getting uncomfortable by that person over there or that, but not letting him worry about it. If I'm walking forward, looking ahead, and he keeps looking behind me, he's beginning to worry about something over there. So in order for me to help him, I need to be able to go, no, nice, good boy, good stretch it out. I need him to be able to go, I need to lead him. So I'm going to walk that way, and you'll see Ben kind of walking behind me. You just stay where you are and make life easier for him. So walk behind me a little bit. Stamp your feet a little bit as you do it. Let's go. My job is to keep him moving forward, because if he's worried about what Ben's doing, let's go. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy.
You can't have it all.
Let's go. You see how concerned he gets? Go on. Good boy. Nope. So I just want to keep him moving forward. And then we can stop. Good boy. Nope. Just want to break that focus. Because again, we want to keep to a 3-second rule more than anything else. So if you're walking, for example, and you walk past somebody, your natural response is to look, You have a little look as you walk past them. If you walk past a dog, your natural response is to have a little look. If a nice car drives past you, you have a little look. But what he does is he fixates, and then the panic sets in. Back up. What I want to teach him is this 3-second rule. So if Ben takes a step forward, see he's looking, 1, 2, 3, and break that, because after 3 seconds, he's starting to fixate and get a bit concerned. And that concern will lead to him panicking and making bad choices. So I'm saying, have a look, that's fine. Don't fret about it. So Ben walked that way a little bit. So he's having a little look, and now going to sniff me instead, which is fine, because he's no longer getting so concerned. But when concern builds like this, I just want to break his focus a little bit. So by me doing that, what I'm saying to him is you don't have to worry about what Ben's doing. Yeah. A lot of the time, we miss those little bits where he's getting concerned, or it's not until he reacts or panics, looking, good boy, just interrupt, yeah? Have a good sniff. But, because like I said, if he's staring, he's getting concerned. Good boy, stretch it out. Yeah, I feel like for him, that's his way of going, oh. Yeah.
The world is all right.
Yeah. He's done that a couple of times, and it's because I'm giving him information.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, because he's walking nicely and because you want him to sniff and things like that, he's doing all of that. But because there's not much information coming from you, he is then freaking out a little bit. So I'm tapping into those little bits where he starts to get concerned, and you can see him kind of go, oh, okay. Yeah. Because I'm taking that away. What I'm saying is don't worry about what Ben's doing. You can have a look at Ben, that's fine. I don't expect you to, I'm not putting a blindfold on you, mate.
No. But just break the concentration of it, and then if he goes to look again, it's okay. But and the best way of breaking it is just to step across and make a little noise.
You could click your fingers, you could just step into him, you could just walk off a little bit and then just reset. Yeah, everything's just about staying sort of nice and chilled out. It's recognising that he's a bit concerned, but not making a big deal of it. So he's looking concerned. Come on, good boy.
And what about if it's something that I'll struggle to get away from him away from looking at in 3 seconds? For example, if it was that whole side that was really bright and shiny, or it was flapping in the wind, what would you suggest then?
Okay, so what you do is you walk past it, then you walk past it, then you walk past it, and you walk past it.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a story. So my late Rottweiler, okay, had a thing about weird statues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Niche.
It's not something you'd see every day.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember walking down the seafront. If you're in Brentwood, you assume you've been to the seafront.
Yes, yeah.
You got the Sea Life Centre. Yeah. Outside the Sea Life Centre, you got a donut statue.
Yeah.
Basically advertising hot donuts sold here. Yeah. Right. So I'm walking down there. She's plodding along my side, walking nicely as she always did, and then all of a sudden she slams on the brakes. Now, as you know, having a mastiff, having a Rottweiler's not too dissimilar. No. When they suddenly slam on the brakes and it comes to a halt, there's a bit of drag back. Yeah. So I'm looking around going, what the fuck's wrong with you? Her hackles are up, she's like hunkered down, she's growling. It's a donut statue. Now, if I went, come on, she understood what the lead is, as what we're trying to teach him, follow that lead pressure. So she slammed on the brakes. I went, no, stop being silly. Pressure in the direction I wanted to go. So what does she do? Tries to bolt past it.
Right.
Now, your average person would go, carry on. Mm-hmm. But next time we see a statue, what do you think she's going to do?
She's going to bolt.
She's going to bolt.
She had the desired effect.
Yeah. So I went, no. We stopped. We walked back past it. So what does she do? Bolts again. Yeah. So I stop. She hits the end of the lead. She looks at me. Okay. I go, right, come on. Walk past it a third time. Third time, she looks at me, doesn't try to bolt, walks by my side, how she was trained to do so. Mm-hmm. Never had an issue with a donut statue again after that. It also built trust in her, because next time she got spooked by something, a bin overflowing in Hockley Woods, for example, instead of freaking out, she looks to me.
What
because the last thing their dog remembers about being scared was I had their back. We didn't rush past it, we didn't avoid it, we didn't run away. So if you walk past something and he tries to go, oh my God, it's fucking on fire, when it's not, walk back.
Okay.
And keep walking back past it until he plods along how he would do if that thing wasn't there. That's how you get him over it. You don't go, it's okay, don't worry, because if telling a dog it's okay worked, I'd be out of a job. Nearly every dog owner I know goes, it's okay, don't worry. But yet the problem remains day in, day out. So we don't do that.
Okay.
We don't panic and we don't avoid. What we do is we go, right, deep breath. I need you to follow me. We take on that challenge. If we fail, we take on that challenge again. If we fail, we take on that challenge again. But every single time, the only one freaking out is him.
Yeah.
He needs to look to me and go, why aren't you fucking concerned, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you do that by being confident. And when you've done it 2 or 3 times, he goes, well, I'm the only one being a big baby here. Nothing bad's happening.
Yeah.
And then next time he gets scared, that's what he remembers.
Okay. And then do you reward him at any point, or is it just the fact that he's
You can
achieved
reward
it?
him if he goes past in a good manner. Don't reward him. Don't say good boy if he fucking shoots past it like it's on fire. Let's see how he gets on with walking past. He should be all right.
Yeah, he should be all right with that, to be honest. And the other thing I was going to ask is, when he bolts, what's the best way of dealing with that? Is it to try and just let him do it and almost just reset and then go back past, or do you try and control the bolt? And
so I'll be honest with you, this lead is really good for giving him some freedom. It's really impractical for walking by my side.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's so much of it, right? But if he was to bolt, I would just stop and do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so restrict the movement and reset rather than go past and then reset.
Something that people struggle with, right, is if you've got a nervous dog, you either have what we call a fight or flight response. Both are bad because both can lead the dog to getting itself in serious trouble. Fight means the dog's likely to lunge and try and make that thing go away and make myself look big and scary. Sometimes that could result in a bite that could potentially be fatal to the dog. Yeah. Flight is just as bad though, because flight, if a dog's on the lead, will be that moment where something spooks it and it shoots forward like it's got a firecracker under its arse. But then, if the dog was off the lead, how far would it run away? It could run into the road and things like that. So, or if it's a big powerful dog and does that, it could end up you being dragged into the road. So they're both dangerous. But if he goes into flight mode and we keep moving forward, you'll notice that he'll start pulling and getting faster and faster and faster. Because all we're doing is reinforcing let's get out of here as quick as we can. So when I've got a dog, for example, and it goes into flight mode, we kind of go forward and then boom, change direction a little bit like that. So the dog hits the end of the lead and then comes back to where we are. And
he's watching you. When you do make those changes,
ironically,
he looks at you.
People think that if you correct a nervous dog, it's going to make them more nervous. On the contrary, failure to correct a dog to interrupt where they're at that moment in time will leave them stuck longer. So if he goes forward and I change direction and pop on that lead, he straight away snaps that panic from over there and goes, hello. And then I reset. He's looking at something over there, don't worry about that. Wait. Maybe, I don't know what he's noticed, but don't worry about it. Yeah. So it's just that interrupter. So I know if he lunges and I keep moving forward, I'm going to have a hard time stopping the train. So what I do is I use my body. The same way he uses his body when he doesn't want to move or things like that. It's a simple case of he goes forward, I change direction, lead does the work, and it comes across my body. You're a good boy, aren't you, mate? So I'm going to take you to your reflections. Let's go and see your reflections. What are you scared of? You scared of this? So he's scared of something because he was dragging. But case in point is I had a Cocker Spaniel during the week, and it was scared of coming up here. It was nervous of people and reactive to people, so I got Sophie to come out and come towards him, and then he freaked out, and then just wanted out, went into flight mode, So when we was walking around here, he was walking lovely, but as soon as the owner decided to walk up here, because of that, he's like, I don't want to go there. So he's jumping out on the lead and everything. So I got him to go up, come down, go up, come down. About 3 or 4 times of doing it, he just started popping up there like it was nothing.
It's actually all right. You make him realise it.
It's we don't avoid the fear. Like, I don't know what it is. Is it this? This is to alert people. That's a fire extinguisher. Just going to put that over there. Shh. But the other thing is, I get a bit proactive. Like, I remember in his description, he said, loud bangs scare him. So, I don't avoid it. I'm going to create these things. You can see, like, I don't know what it is up here, but he's unsettled by something up here. So, and you can see that restlessness in him. So he's trying to go forward, he's antsy on his feet.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're just standing still. So I call this a wobble, and literally he wobbles. So we're just going to stop and slow everything down and stay here, yeah? Because if he's freaking out, the worst thing we can do is keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get me wrong, if this decking was on fire, we'd probably move. But he's just got concerned because that made a loud bang. So he's like side to side, front, back, like he just wants off of here. In his mind, that bang, he needs to get off. Yeah. But if I do that, then next time he hears a bang, what does he do? He goes straight into that way of being. So all I want him to do is not a difficult, that's what I want, not a difficult exercise, just stop freaking out. How do we stop a dog freaking out? We stand our ground, we shorten up that lead, we take a deep breath, we don't tell him it's okay, because remember, if telling him okay works, I'll be out of a job. I'll just go, anytime he's nervous, it's okay, and the fear will go away, but it doesn't. No. We stand still, we say next to nothing, shorten up that lead, and when he stops going, when his brain stops racing at 100 miles an hour, when he takes his focus off of that, when he maybe checks in with me, anything, checking in with me, sniffing, just anything from freaking out, we can then go, we can then leave. So next time he hears a bang or that scary thing, he knows when he goes like that, what to do to get him moving on. It's actually relax a little bit, nice, and then he shakes it off. He's such a cool dog. He's a little bit easier to hold on this.
Yeah,
so
okay.
like,
I can see you've got a lot more control.
Yeah. Do you want to have a little go at walking him on that?
Yeah.
But even your boots, like, started it. But again, our natural response there would probably be to tell him, don't worry about it, mate.
Yeah.
But you see how, look, as soon as you take the lead, the association he has with you is head down, boom, straight over there. Yeah. Whereas when I'm holding the lead, he's still having these little moments because that's just him. But he wasn't trying to do that as much. So again, all I want you to do, short but relaxed lead, and just walk with him. Now, we need to teach him heel, and we need to teach him freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, freedom sounds like a really harsh word, because it's not like he's not a free dog. It's not like he's fucking a prisoner or anything like that.
Makes me think of Braveheart.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay. Do you coach kids?
Yes.
Yeah. But we have, we call them man's best friend, but for me, it's not man's best friend. For me, it's more of a parent-child relationship. Yeah, because these make dumb decisions. Not just Boerboels, fucking all dogs. Yeah. They have the same brain cognitive development as a toddler. So he doesn't know if you throw a steak into the road and he chases after it, that he could get hit by a car. Yeah, because they don't think that way. He doesn't realise if he runs away from something, he could get lost or he could get hurt. Yeah. And same as if he reacts to something, he doesn't know that he could get you in trouble. It's just not the way they think.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So for me, a best friend relationship, like you friends with somebody, that is more of a 50-50 relationship in a sense, yeah? I use Ben as an example. My job isn't to feed Ben. My job isn't to put a roof over his head. My job isn't to clothe Ben. My job isn't to put fucking shoes on his feet. Yeah? That's not my job as a friend. My job as a friend is to give him advice if he needs it. My job as a friend is to have his back. My job as a friend is to support him. But my job isn't to raise him and things like that. With a child, my job is to keep a roof over their head, is to fucking feed them, is to clothe them, is to do all of that. So is that a 50-50 relationship? No. With dogs, it's not a 50-50 relationship, because if I let him make too many decisions, he starts making really bad decisions, right? So I look at it more like a parent-child relationship, with you being the instructor, the father, whatever. So there's a time and a place where he's got to do stuff that he may not necessarily want to do, but it is necessary to help him and to have that order and structure. So hill is a job. What I'm going to say is, when we're walking, mate, when I say hill, I want you to stay by my left leg, not zigzagging, not stopping whenever you feel like it, not going in front. Keep into that 3-second rule. If he starts looking behind you too long, just go 1, 2, 3. And if he's still doing that, continue to move forward. If he goes fast, we slow down. Us basically micromanaging his every move. Yeah, I call this walking down a busy fucking road holding your child's hand. That's basically what we're doing here. Then, if it's safe to do so and the coast is clear, we're going to teach him break, which is where now you can have the full length of that lead. Now you can stop. Now you can cock your leg. Now you can investigate this and investigate that. But we have to go back and forth between both. If I only really work on heel when there's distractions, I haven't done enough repetitions of it. And I also start to make him aware that there's a distraction, because that's the only time we practice it. If the rest of the time he can do what he wants, I go heel, he goes, where's that fucking scary thing? So he associates. So I need to practice it a lot when there's nothing going on, so it becomes second nature. Practicing for the big game. So right now, the Joel is just keep him by his side. If you feel his head going down, bring his head up. If you feel him going out that way, bring him to you. And just walk anywhere you want to go. I'll never get tired of watching a mastiff walk away. Nice. So that was really good. You kind of walked across him there. Because again, just the cracking of the ice. That's it, keep him walking forward. Stay nice and chilled out when he gets like that. When he starts to do that, pace changes help quite a lot. So walking faster, because it gives him less time to focus on it. Many times, you should stop for a second. So many times, when a dog starts to get spooked by something, they will naturally slow down a little bit so they can investigate what's happening. But that's because the slowing down at this moment in time is them getting concerned. So if he starts to slow down, we want to pick up that pace because it's going to keep him moving. It's going to create space quicker. But that sort of assertiveness of going, nope, let's go, is what he follows. He goes, fucking hell, his confidence over there. It's the same as when people go, my dog refuses to move when it sees a dog. Yes, you're trying to get the dog to move once it's stopped. You missed all the signs of the dog slowing down, fixating, doing this. And because it slows down, you slow down with the dog and start to, come on, negotiate. Whereas 9 out of 10 times, if you just went, nope, let's go, and walked like you owned the road, don't give the dog a second to slow down, many times the dog will do it. If you pass me his lead, watch what happens if I walk slow. So if I start to walk slow, see how quickly he can kind of get away from me. Whereas if I go, come on mate, let's go. See, he has to come up my pace. So if he's scared of something or starting to slow down, I'm going to do the exact opposite, I'm not saying you should never walk slow with a dog, but if he's slowing down naturally because he's distracted by something, and I slow down, I'm handing leverage to him. Whereas if I go, let's go, he has to follow me. It's silly little things, but see how it almost gets a bit of spring in his step? So if he's getting concerned by something and it's safe to do so, pick up your pace.
And I guess you're taking away the opportunity time for him to worry, because he's absorbed here, but in an instant it's gone type of thing.
Just like that.
Oh, you're right.
So he's a dog that strikes me, he'll get spooked by weird things. Perfect.
Well, and not so weird things as well, but
just walk round that cone for me. You see how his tail goes up. So the thing about nervy dogs is when something appears out of the ordinary, they freak out, take him with you. So next time, pick up that pace. See how his tail is right up in the air. Let's pick up that. Nice. But yeah, all that is, again, is just from a cone being put there.
Yeah, which wasn't there a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like a typical dog. What happens if we end up with 2 cones? Nice. But every time there's something new, you see how that tail comes right up in the air.
Yeah.
So these are the moments where you don't let him start to make choices because he's already hyper alert.
Yeah.
So it's the moment for you to take control. So just go and walk him over there.
Yeah. And the leg cocking thing, am I all right just to stop him from doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So what we're looking for is that tail, as you start to get away from the scary things, start to come down. See? So come towards me a little bit.
Yeah. Hey.
He's so handsome, bless him.
Yeah, tail's starting to drop.
Yeah.
He does have his tail high a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's because he's very, I call it peacocking a little bit, to be fair. So I don't mind him cocking his leg. I mind him cocking his leg every 30 seconds when we're trying to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, so if you pass me his lead, so what we do is we go, come here, mate. Stop. What's his name?
Milo.
Milo. So what we do is once he's walked nicely, for 5-10 minutes, if it's safe to do so, we go, Milo, do you whistle at him? I thought so, because I whistled and he looked straight at you.
He looked at me, yeah.
That's the problem with whistles. If Ben whistles now, Milo comes running. Yeah. Milo, break. We can then let Milo have some freedom to now sniff and do those things that he wants to do. Yeah. And the only rules apply now is you're not allowed to start dragging me and things like that. If I say, come on, let's go, we move on. Okay. I don't want to get into a battle with you. But, so we're not taking this element away from him. We want him to be able to have a good old sniff. Yeah. Yeah, because all of these things are good for him. But you see how now my arm's starting to go there? Yeah. Before, he would have taken me with him because he's got the strength game. Yeah. But because see how every time he's hitting the end of the lead, he's now sort of retreating away from it. So if I stand still, see how he's now coming away. Yeah. Yeah, and that's because we've taught him what the end of the lead is. That silly little exercise of follow that lead. Yeah. He goes in front, follow that lead, teaching him that when he feels pressure, to yield to that pressure, means when he starts to go there, see how easy he is to stop. How much does he weigh?
60 kilos.
60 kilos. So the reality is, I posted this video the other day, very similar to this, with a small dog. I'll try doing that with an Irish Wolfhound, try doing that with a Mastiff. The same rules apply. The principle's the same. Yeah? He is a massively powerful dog. Like, trust me when I say, and you know, but when he fucking hunkers down, mate, it's like he could ground a ship. If you threw him overboard, he could ground a ship, right? But if you teach him what the end of the lead means, then it doesn't matter. You can just easily go, come mate, and suddenly the Mastiff's much easier to fucking move. Versus him...
And he's not fighting it.
Not fighting it. Is he raw fed?
Yeah.
Come here. And we can just lead. What?
Not that bad, I promise you, dude. I know I've scared you a lot.
Do you know what I like Boerboels? Like, if you look at them, it's like if they ran at you, you just have to adopt the fetal position, like, like because they're not tall like an English Mastiff or things like that, but it's mass.
Now I look at him like a bodybuilder. You know, you get like big old chest and like going slimmer. He just looks like
he's lean as well. He's quite lean for.
This is interesting because at the start when I told you just to stand still and not let him sort of venture too far so we could have a conversation, he was so disconnected. In a new place, nervous. He's actively decided just to sort of come here. What he's learning just through the little things that we're doing with him is to come and stay with us. It's more beneficial for him to be in our bubble. Yeah. So instead of him now just doing a Milo show and keep going and going and going, yeah. Of course, we're applying some basic foundations to him and some restrictions to it. Because we're not letting him, when he starts to do what he wants to do, because we're making those little decisions, he's now actively will start to want to stay a little bit closer to where we are.
Okay.
Milo, let's go. Good boy. See how he got a bit spooked by Ben and has actually come into my bubble?
Yeah.
That's really cool. But that's what happens when you...
And there was no tension on the lead to make him
he
do
did that all himself. Yeah. But this is the thing. Once you start tapping into that weakness of the dog, but by not feeling sorry for him, but by going, nope, mate, this is what we want from you. Nope, don't worry about it. Nope, don't stare at what Ben's doing for too much. Yeah, when we start doing those little pace changes and things like that, if he gets scared and starts to slow down, we speed up. Teaching him what the end of the lead is, not giving in to that. The dog actually, when it gets spooked, like by Ben just then, went, let me just come over here.
Yeah.
And that reduces reactivity and reduces the risk of flight, because he's now deciding to come here before making the decision. He's basically going, I'm safe here. You're making decisions for me. Can you make a decision here where nothing bad happens to me? Yeah. So whereas before, sometimes decision. It could be, I don't like that thing and react. Yeah. Or I don't like that thing, let me bolt. Yeah. So it's little things.
Yeah, so he's made a sensible decision rather than a stupid one.
Yes, just like that. Come on, Milo. Milo, come here. Good boy. Oh, what a boy you are. Right. Then we go back to hill. So he needs to understand how to go from hill to freedom. Yeah. So now it's not nose to the floor. Now it's not zigzagging. Now it's not cocking your leg. So if he tries to cock his leg now, I'm just going to keep moving. Yeah. The idea is to not give him too much time to do those things. If he tries to stop, let's go, like there, I felt him slowed down by something, probably the ice. But the goal is now, you're following me again. So we don't take anything away from Milo, I just need him to be able to understand how to do both. Stop. Milo. Break. Starting to understand. We're flicking back and forth between two. So what we're going to do, okay, is go and have a coffee. Warm up our hands. And then we will bring out some things that could potentially spook Milo. And we'll work on trying to keep him nice and chilled out. And that's the thing. Like, it's little moments. But I like those little shake-offs that the dog does, or those little stretches, because it means that I had a wobble, but I'm kind of letting it go. I'm not hanging on to it, if you will. And you'll find that when you're working with a nervous dog, the more you start to work them through what makes them uncomfortable, just turn around, the more you kind of work them through what makes them uncomfortable, the more you'll start to see them doing those little shake-offs and things.
So when he's looking like this, is that...
When a dog's... It's not always bad, but the thing is, it's... You do it by the individual. Yeah, so for example, if I was here with my dog, what you're doing there is great, but if it was my dog and she's having a look over there, it wouldn't bother me. Because she's not going to start reacting and things like that. If I have a dog that's likely to react to something appearing or something like that, if he's staring too intently, I'm just going to reset it. And the way we reset it is by doing a simple either walk into him or just, as you do it, just turn it around. Because once you break that fixation, the bar starts again. So if I know that I've got a dog that's prone to reacting and he's staring that way, he's almost waiting for something to come out. So yes, I'm going to break that. If I just had a happy-go-lucky dog that's capable of holding his position and he's not going to freak out, I wouldn't bother about it too much. So it does differ from case to case and things like that.
And what about if I've not got control of him, like he's off the lead, and I know that it's a lot more difficult, and if I'm expecting there to be a situation that I need to control him in, then he should be on the lead. I know that you said about having your dog on the lead in the house when people are coming in and you're expecting a reaction. But are there ways that I can help him if something scares him and we're in the house and he's not on the lead, for example?
Yes. So one of the things that's really good, the reason I've opted to use a dingo collar, look what happens if you're not going to do it, but you see he's got all that excess.
Yeah.
I would have him on that in the house. So if I've got a dog that has problems in the house, no matter how big or small it is. So a problem is something that you can't effectively stop.
Yeah.
So if you can't stop your dog jumping up, your dog's not trained in the house. If you can't stop your dog stealing things off the counter, your dog's not trained. If you can't stop it jumping off on the sofa, it's not trained. Yeah. If your dog freaks out when it hears a noise, it's not trained. So for me, a dog that's not trained would still be on a lead. Now, some dogs are better than others and don't need as extensive work. So with Milo, my rescue when I first got her, she was on a slip lead inside the house. For the first 2 weeks I had her. That way I could manage what's going on. If she's having a barking fit, I can pick up the lead and just give her a little pop. If somebody knocks on the door, I could lead her to her bed, give her a handful of treats. Now she instinctively, when that bell goes straight to her bed, wait for I could also then bring her out and stop her jumping all over my guests and things like that, because she has no idea what to do. I can let her greet my guests when she's calm, so she learns how to be calm in order to get that fuss. So I used the lead inside the house when I took her in the garden. So anytime she wasn't in the crate, she was on a lead, just dragging it around with her. With him, you can just leave that on him.
Okay, and then just pop the lead on if...
You don't need to pop the lead on.
Oh, just leave the lead dragging
so for
around.
example, because that dingo collar has that excess on it, you can just use it like that. So pass me his lead. Come here, Milo. So for argument's sake, I can... If he's in the house dragging this around, I've got a mini lead here.
Okay, I've got
So if he's starting to have a wobble, I can go, oi, you, come here, and just help him. If somebody comes in my house, I can, I'm just going to drop that on the floor for a second, let him go run into the door, but then before I open the door, I can pick up his lead, get him behind me, open the door, and then just walk into him, going around, and say, look, my dog's nervous, he's going to come over and say hello to you, but it's imperative that you ignore him, act like he's not there. Don't hold your hand out for him to sniff. Don't stare at him directly, as handsome as he is, because eye contact from a stranger can be seen as a threat and make him uncomfortable. Don't talk to him, just let him sniff you, and then he'll be absolutely fine. So you break it down. I've got this little mini lead, so I'm not trying to force him. If a bang went off and he started getting all spooked, I could pick up his lead. I can go, oi, the same way we would do, just wait for him to calm down, then let him go back. So this acts as like a little mini lead.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And then I can just pop this when we go out on a walk. So now I've just got the same lead, but it's extended.
Exactly. Okay.
That's what I would do, because he's not bad. He just has those little moments. So he doesn't necessarily need a lead inside. Same as when he's off his lead. Get him let him drag this around with him, and you can just step on it. If he gets spooked by something, you can step on it. He hits the end of it. Now he knows what the end of this lead is. He goes, what was that? Come here, mate, because that's where it's safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
You're so good. But so let's drink our tea. And then we will make some noise.
Oh, Milo. And it's about teaching him when he needs to be and when he...
you don't need to be switched on all the time. It's like... it's genetic, so it's about him, you go and just reminding him a lot. Like him looking at everything that appears out of nowhere. Completely normal behaviour. Like, we used to have a Caucasian Shepherd.
Oh, they're beautiful dogs.
Fantastic. Clyde's favourite thing in the world is to lay down and just watch the world go by.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just super chilled out.
Super chilled out. Because again, if you look at what the dog was designed to do, you can very much see he's designed to protect livestock from large predatory animals. So his job is just to lay there for large portions of the day, keeping an eye on everyone and everything, and only springing into action when necessary.
That's right.
Ben ran into some flock guarding breeds in Romania, didn't you?
Yeah, we did Romanian valleys and mountains.
Okay.
And the shepherds come through, and they had about 6 or 7 dogs with them.
Yeah.
And about 400 sheep.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, it's quite daunting when you've got a shepherd. I don't know, it's a good 100 metres away.
Yeah.
But they're like that.
Watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go, I know you can get to me before I can get away.
Yeah. Is there a tree I can climb?
Yeah. But it's awesome to see them actually working.
Yeah, absolutely.
What they're built to do.
Yeah, I mean, these were bred to guard farms in South Africa, so I've told. But in a pack, exactly as you were saying, Adam, the Boerboels would just be lying around in the sun all day, and they'd have Jack Russells or something like that, who'd be on alert, who'd set the alarm if a baboon comes into the... So they're the ones who are actually watching, and then they just react to whatever
that's so common. You see it in scrap yards in America as well, things like that. You'll have like a German Shepherd or a Doberman or a Rottweiler, and they'll pair it with like a Chihuahua or a Jack Russell or something. A dog that's notoriously vocal and sensitive to sound.
It makes sense because they had like this really overly hairy Jack Russell looking thing with it as well.
Oh, okay.
So now that all makes sense.
Yeah, and I used to see it. So I lost my Rottweiler in 2020. Right, but a Rottweiler is a naturally suspicious, quick to react guard dog, right? And Roxy, my terrier, who I've still got, she's 13. She would often alert Daisy. So if there was a tap on the door or something and Daisy hadn't necessarily heard it, all Roxy would have to do is bark, and then almost like the fucking force would show up. Yeah. And I remember a funny story of her one time. I was working with this mastiff. It was, I think it was either 12 or 14 months old. It was a juvenile.
Right.
Yeah. It was a mastiff mix, very gangly, hadn't fully grown yet. Right, so all fucking legs and paws. And it was too friendly with other dogs, but because of its fucking size, it was getting told off, so it was having shit experience. So I had Sammy, my staff, I had my Rottweiler, and I had my little terrier. So the first dog I bought out was Sammy because she was the most balanced of my pack. She had the ability of telling a dog if they went too far, but not punishing the dog too severely and things like that. So introduced it to this mastiff called Barney. Barney's jumping all over Sammy. Sammy's telling it to fuck off. Barney's not listening. It hadn't quite got the memo. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to bring out the fucking big guns. So I bring out Daisy. Daisy comes straight over like that. Barney's like, okay. Right. It was much more subdued. So I'm like, right, now he's learning what to do. Daisy didn't fuck about. As soon as he started putting his paws on her, she's like, get the fuck off me. And Barney instantly fell into line. So I put Daisy back, I brought out Roxy, right, bring out a little dog. Roxy shits herself, like this massive bouncer around, just stood by the back door like, can you fucking let me in? I let Daisy out. As soon as I let Daisy out, Roxy went straight over to it like, hello. I was like, you fucking, because she's got that. So they were inseparable, bless her. But yeah, it's not uncommon to pair a small dog and a big dog, because small dogs are much more quicker to bark at every little noise.
Yeah, more alert. Yeah.
And dogs do communicate through barking. Like, you can have a dog barking for a ball and a lot of dogs will ignore it when they're over a field. Yeah, but you can have a dog over a field that your dog's never met, and it can let out an alert bark, and you'll watch every dog in the park stop and see what's going on. Dogs can understand the difference in barks, the difference between give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, or
there's a
intruder alert, intruder alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of what Boerboels do, it's very much genetic. It is natural for him to watch and be suspicious of everything.
Yeah.
We just need him to, when he's having those little moments of weakness, be able to take direction from us.
Yeah. Which he was doing when he was out there with you.
Yeah. And that's what we need to achieve with you. Is there anything in particular that scares him?
Bags.
Like carrier bags.
Rucksacks.
In what aspect? On the back of somebody or in the middle of somewhere? Or?
Both.
You got him when he was a year, didn't you?
Yeah, just over a year.
Yeah. It's crucial socialising time, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
So what, was he used as an outside dog?
No, the breed. Well, he lived outside, but the breeder was going to keep him to breed from. And I'd
How
gone.
do they cope outside here? Because obviously in South Africa it's a lot warmer climate.
Yeah, his kennel was heated, so he had like a shed with.
Because they don't have a massively thick coat, do they?
No, absolutely.
So the only thing I would have changed there was instead of walking forward, because you kind of walked straight at it, which wasn't the end of the world, that way. So while you're here, what I would have done is what you just did there.
Turn away.
Yeah, because you do run the risk of where he's barking at it, if you then move forward, you're kind of moving right at it when he's in that.
Yeah, fair. So now he's constantly fixating on that. So do I just keep walking or do I keep moving?
Yeah, but for example, is this yours?
Yeah, it don't matter if it gets ruined or anything like that.
I was going to put it on the floor.
Yeah, no, go on. Yeah, it's fine. It's just the bag.
So what we do, for example, that's it, and then you can let him go and investigate because it's safe to do so.
Okay.
So say go on in and just let him have a little.
So your nemesis, Milo, a black bag.
So things that he can investigate, you wait until he stops kind of panicking per se, and then you can. It's funny because it's a fucking. But laughing at it is better than going, "It's okay, don't worry." Yeah. It's just
because then you stay relaxed rather than. I'll move out of the way.
And it's just an obstacle. That's it, touch it. So look, now he's in two modes between nervous and play. So look, he's coming over. Good boy.
It's a nice bag, isn't it?
That's it. Then stop touching it for a second. Well, go down to it because I want him to come a little bit closer. A little bit of pressure. He knows what that pressure is. Good boy. So, of course, he also understands leash pressure. You can use that to bring him a little bit closer to it. Yeah, it's just a bag.
It's not going to hurt him. It's not.
No.
Yeah.
In his mind, it's on fire and it's going to get him. But. And then what we can do? Stand up. He's just walking round the bag a little bit. Come, mate. Just show him that the bag isn't that scary. It's just a bag. Good boy. Come on, mate. Let's go. Yeah. So in those moments, it's make it or break it. If he gets spooked by something and good boy, and we just walk away, then next time he sees that object, it's terrifying again. And he remembers, last time I saw that, this is how we got away from it. Me panicking and going into flight mode.
Yep.
If it's safe for him to investigate, we stop. We wait for him to be not reacting to it, and then we bring him over to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just help him just by moving away. Yeah. Come on, mate, it's just a bag. It's just a bag. Come on, you can do it. Same bag. Let's go. Good boy. Round the bag. Good boy. Look at the bag. Want a little smell? Good boy. It's not so scary now, is it? Come on. And we'll see if he'll walk past it without going into flight mode and just on that nice loose lead. No running past it. Having a little look, that's fine.
Yeah.
But no flight. Bit suspicious. Can you walk past it this way without running into flight mode? No pressure on his lead. Stop caring. On to something else. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you do. If he's scared of something, just take the time to, where you can, work him through it.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. So, so rucksacks scare him.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'd say black clothing, but he's
reacting to a rucksack, I would treat it very much the same as if he was reacting to a fucking lamppost, or if he was reacting to a person or a dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
My lead technique is going to pretty much hold true. I'm going to not let him fixate on it. I'm going to hold him accountable if he reacts. But if I can, this is the other mistake people make. If your dog has a sort of to-do with another dog, you then quickly go in opposite directions. So if those dogs ever see each other again, the last thing they remember is fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst thing people do when they have two dogs and they get into a fight is fucking separate them and keep one in one room, one in the other room, because then what happens is every time they come together, they go straight back to the last memory, which was fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously you have to separate them from the initial fight, but then you're better off sticking one in a crate or sticking them both in crates so they can be in the same room as each other.
Yeah.
And if the reactivity, if they're having many fights, get a dog trainer in. We'll do a crate and rotate system. One out of the crate interacting with it, but the other one can see. Not letting the one out of the crate go over and invade the personal space of it. Then do some training with that one, tire it out, have a cuddle with that one, put that one in the crate, bring the other one out.
Yeah.
If there's two of you, then take them for walks together, feed them together, but making sure that they're in the same room but have their own space and it's safe. And that's how you reduce the fights.
Yeah.
If he's reacting to a carrier bag, I'm going to handle it the same as if he's reacting to a jogger or something like that. No, you're not doing that. But where possible, I'm going to go, right, well, there's joggers there, so we're going to hang out over there and we're going to walk back and forth until you fucking ignore the joggers. Yeah. Same as we did with the rucksack. There's a rucksack there, you're barking at a rucksack. It's just a rucksack. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's a moment of weakness for him. And a moment of weakness is a chance for us to build confidence and trust.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what other bags of tricks I got.
What's he going to come out with, Milo, eh?
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
It's like a town's car. Everything's really easy to think of. Be careful, it's super slippy.
Yeah.
I don't want your boss breaking the neck.
Don't bite me bum. He doesn't seem to be too fazed by... I mean, he's curious.
Yeah, he's curious, but his tail's normal, he looks quite relaxed.
The only thing I would have changed there is he made the decision to go to it versus you making the decision. Yeah. Because again, if he can do that, then he can make the decision to try and make it disappear.
Yes.
We want to make sure that he's not in that jumpy phase, and then we can let him go over to it.
So because I felt like he was relaxed, that's why I let him do it. But
the thing is, we want crystal clear communication. So if you went break or go on then that's fine. But he has to understand. Otherwise, what happens is he feels like I can just do it when I feel like it. Don't bite my bum. Have you ever seen an electric scooter, mate? Yeah, look, he's going to start being silly now. Love it.
Such a handsome man.
Good play, better Milo. He's defrosting your decking whilst he's doing this, so...
Milo, what are you doing? The problem is, right, so there's some fear toppled with excitement there.
Yeah.
The problem is, we don't want that. And the reason we don't want that is because if he is ever off his lead, and poor Mr. Joe on his scooter comes whizzing past and he goes, yeah, let's fucking chase it.
Yeah.
So he does have to kind of not display that behaviour. Yeah. So just bring him towards us. Yep. Go there, mate. So you just keep him there.
Yep.
Turn and face me. Yeah, so he has to kind of learn to ignore the scooter. Mm-hmm. That's better. So sometimes when you let a dog investigate, if he starts to make bad decisions, then we need to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah. To turn and face the scooter. So we want him to face the scooter, we just don't want him to go after it.
Yeah.
So you can just use the lead and pull up if he starts that like that. So if he starts to go in front, what you're saying is don't go there. Because we know when he gets here, he's going to kind of mouth out, jump up and down. And like I said, he's confused. He's like, I'm scared of it, but I'm also excited about it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I look at is if we don't nip that in the bud, somebody going past on a scooter,
yeah,
and him either taking you off your feet where you're not ready for it,
yeah,
or him being off his lead and fucking chasing someone down the road, barking at them. And I think he's fucking cute as anything, but I can guarantee you...
Yeah, most people would be scared shitless. Yeah.
Having a Boerboel chasing after you barking is not...
I used to be hoping my scooter was de-restricted.
Yes. Yeah.
Hoping I can outrun him.
And it doesn't run out of battery.
Yeah.
So, but you see little things, just changing that position, having him behind you instead of in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just stopping him there. That's perfect. Then, what I want you to do, when he takes his focus off of it, let him come back over and see if he makes a better choice. See, now he's kind of ignoring it. So bring him towards the scooter, see what he wants to do. Milo, come here. Very different reaction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's moments where he gets stuck. So you see how when the dog gets stuck or concerned by something, how without human interference, they can sometimes get stuck and make those bad choices.
Yeah.
You just saying, look, don't do that, come here, stay here. Don't you make the decisions to go over it because it's obviously going to make a bad decision.
Yep.
Yeah. Then he very quickly moves on.
Yeah.
So this will be a test because Aaron's here. So Aaron will be coming over in a second. So I'm going to put this back, give him a little break.
Oh.
It's not me, mate.
Hey.
You don't like me anymore. I'm a scary man with a scooter. So, just bring him over here. Just come around this way.
Yep.
And he can have a little look, it's fine. We'll all just stare at Aaron as he gets out of the car. Good boy. Is he alright with dogs?
Yeah.
But here's also how sniffing can help as well. So watch this. So pass me his lead.
Yeah.
See how he's so distracted by Aaron?
Yeah.
If we go over here, for example, This is where sniffing can come in handy. Thanks, Milo. Break. We can give Milo some freedom to keep him moving and his nose on something.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it's not just you distracting him, he's got some...
Sometimes standing still and just watching can be very difficult for him, and then you can find yourself getting into that battle. Yeah. So remember we taught him heel and how there's a time and a place for that.
Yeah.
Also, this is the time where we can go, all right, the coast is clear, the danger's over there, let him have a little sniff instead. And what that does is it takes his focus off of the scary thing and goes on to more natural behaviour. So again, taking what he likes to do and using it in times of helping him. And if I use it as a reward for good behaviour, then when I do let him do this, it becomes more meaningful versus him just being able to go, yeah, I'll just stop sniffing right now because I can do that. So me allowing sniff time, Milo, see how much easier it is just to keep him moving forward. Have a good old sniff. And he goes like that and refuses to move. There you go. He understands the end of that lead. See what he does. Have a good little sniff. How do you feel about Hank? Haven't seen Hank yet, I don't think. There you have. Peacocking, are we? Hey. Come on, you. Right, look. See when he goes like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where usually your body comes into play, because he wants to go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of getting into a physical battle of strength where I try to pull him back, just let your body do the work. Yeah. Just change that direction. If he goes forward towards that dog, let your body do the work. So it doesn't matter whether it's 60 kilos or whether it's 6 kilos. I don't need to get into a battle, just let him, see that?
Yeah.
If I stand still, facing him, extended like this, then I try and work my way down the lead and he's going forward, it gets very messy. If I just go, do you know what, have that fucking lead, turn like that, bring him through the lead, then I can shorten up the lead, we're back to where I need to be. And it's a lot less stressful, a lot less physical.
You're using your leg strength rather than your arm strength as well.
And he self-corrects by flying to the end of the lead. So we'll go over here, wait for him to see the dog. So again, he's seen it, he's dipping, but he's more aware this time. Good boy. And that time,
didn't have to correct, you didn't have to battle him or correct
no,
him.
and now look how easy he's coming away. It's about working smarter, not harder. Yeah, if he's going to fly to the end of the lead, I'm just going to brace for impact. And then I'm going to walk through it. And he's going to come with me. Come on, Milo. And now he doesn't care. You're such a good boy, aren't you? Having a good old itch.
Do you know when you get a job that you really enjoy filming?
Yeah.
This is one of them.
Want a drink? Very cold.
Do you mind if I use the loo?
No, go nuts. There's a little urinal.
I might take the camera off.
That's fine. There's a little urinal on the wall next to the sink.
In the...
Yeah, as you go in, on your right, there's a urinal. He's such a handsome boy. Ground anchor. Doesn't care now, he's gone outside. Let's see if we do it again. Because I do like these videos. Ground anchor. Doesn't want to move. He's a big boy. He's lovely though. He's just a big fucking wuss. Big fucking wuss. But again, when he becomes a ground anchor, you're going the wrong way. He's fucking strong.
You know, he almost does it. You know when someone's going, hold me back, hold
me
back, and they get it.
It's what it is, like, oh look, now you're a ground anchor. Yeah. Why won't you do it? There we go. So, when he gets like that and refuses to move, hip, down the lead, walk. Use your body. Walk, 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 walk through the lead, and then you can shorten it up. Go that way, body, hip, like this, through the lead, hand back down the lead. Now I've got a short lead. Skipping. He's funny. So what I picked up on with Hank over there, as Hank's walked past, as Hank's on inside now.
Oh, is he right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Hank the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
He starts by jumping up and down like roof, roof, roof. But you pull back on his lead and it's like he's still barking, but he's like walking backwards. It's almost like a false.
Yeah.
It's like Ben said, it's like somebody saying, hold me back, hold me back. But nobody's really doing much. So teaching him the end of that lead helps massively in those situations.
So he feels like he's got the bubble you mentioned earlier. And
so what will be quite good for him is, and plus you're not a million miles away, we do monthly pack walks.
Okay.
And we have dogs of all different issues there. Some nervous, some confident, some friendly, some not so friendly. The common denominator is they're all going through training.
Okay.
So they've all been here, worked with either myself or one of my trainers, Aaron or Sophie, and we use it as follow-on training. Now the beauty of it is we go into the woods, so the dog has a good time, and then we finish at the end of it at the pub, which is right next door.
Okay.
So the dogs have to learn just to settle down a little bit, where there's lots of things going on, and it's just good for their confidence.
Okay, that sounds great.
And so something like that will be good, just because he's not a bad dog, to be fair. It's nice to work. He's more fine-tuning those little things.
Yeah. And I think it's also training me as well.
Yeah, like I said, there's little things like you got. In one sense, you're trying to do the right thing by letting him sniff because you know he enjoys it and things like that. But it's about picking and choosing when you should be doing it.
Yeah.
It's not constantly, because if it's constantly, then he's easily distracted by things. And if he knows I can go back to sniffing whenever I feel like it, there's nothing to stop him going, I'll just put that on the back burner for a second. But if we use the sniffing as a reward, for a job well done, then the sniffing has more meaning to it, and we can use that when he starts to get a bit stressed. We can go on then mate, and keep his nose, and because he's having to work for it, it has more meaning. But we also need to teach him that's when we say. There are times when we don't want him in front of us because something's coming towards us, say like a scooter or a rucksack,
Scary
where
rucksack.
if he's in front, he's likely to start jumping up and barking, so we'd rather him be more by our side. So it's important he understands that. So it's using both of those things to our advantage. Has he got a spot on his neck?
Struggling to get it, mate.